Stephen King's forecast calls for dense skies and slimy monsters in the mist. I'm Richard Roeper.
And I'm Michael Phillips of the Chicago Tribune.
Okay, Michael, there's more than just a bad hair day lurking outside with the arrival of The Mist. This is about the 137th adaptation of a Stephen King story, and it's one of the best B movies of 2007, and I mean that in a good way. This is a cautionary tale about human nature and messing with God's plan and military experiments gone wrong, but it's also a wickedly entertaining thrill ride with the obligatory collection of townsfolk trapped in a contained space, contending with a terrifying, mysterious force.
Something in the mist!
Dan!
Cook John Lee!
Dan, catch your breath.
Shut the doors! Shut the doors, Micah! Don't go out there. There's something in the mist.
Thomas Jane plays a local artist who immediately knows there's something seriously wrong here. Andre Brower plays a big city lawyer who remains skeptical about all this monsters in the mist talk, even after the body count starts to rise.
There's nothing out there. Nothing in the mist.
If you're wrong,
Then I guess the joke would be on me.
keep it loose.
There are a number of top-notch actors having a blast here, most notably Marcia Gay Harden as the local nutcase whose words of doom suddenly start to sound a bit prophetic.
As Abraham prepared to sacrifice his only son to prove his love for God, so... They'll come tonight, and they'll take someone else. See if they don't.
As the mist envelops the supermarket and, of course, all communication is cut off, the townsfolk soon realize they're going to need a lot of bug spray.
Are those bugs?
Not like any I've ever seen.
The Mist is directed by Frank Darabont, who also adapted King's The Green Mile and The Shawshank Redemption. Now, this would be a relatively minor work, not nearly as serious, but you know what? It's a lot of fun. The ending, though, I have to say, was a letdown because I saw it coming a mile away, and I saw some pretty clear alternatives. That's all I want to say about that. However, if you're looking for a near-campy, escapist thrill ride, a strong recommendation from me, Michael.
Yeah, I like that. And if you, Richard Roeper, had told me that I would like a Stephen King adaptation that's set mostly in a supermarket, you know, which is not the most promising horror.
I think it's very promising.
I would have said clean up in aisle 7, you know, but no, I really did like this. And for me, Darabont's adaptation in this case is so much better, and I don't care about seriousness, so much better than The Green Mile, which to me, I think is still going on. I mean, that film, I felt like I almost didn't make it through, but I really did like the critter aspect of this thing.
The critter aspect.
The critter aspect, yeah, because you get this cool variety. I have to really get highbrow on you here, but very cool variety of insects and sort of prehistoric creatures. And then when the explanation comes, it's kind of a letdown. But by then you're sort of in the movie. I like it.
There's a nice kind of Rod Serling-esque, you know, thing going on in the supermarket where people change when faced with doom, and all of a sudden, you know, Marcia Gay Harden's nutball doesn't seem like such a nutball. And I think probably as many people are killed by other people in this movie as are killed by the slimy creatures because, you know, they turn on each other and all that kind of interesting stuff, which I thought was very well done as well.
Yeah, and I think the thing it really takes from King and that pays off the most is that it's a patient film. It's not really like paced like a Saw picture. And my question really going in to this first weekend for the film is anybody of the age of 16 going to care about a Stephen King thriller, because that name doesn't mean as much to them as it does to us.
I think it will. I mean, I get
so.
what you're saying because the gore level has been ratcheted up in movies like Saw and Hostel and all that stuff, but I think people still like the good old-fashioned thriller, and we still get a lot of slime and gore and, you know, bodies getting pulled apart here.
Yeah, but and I'll tell you, it's been a good year for King because 1408 was much better than a lot of people expected, and I would say that the same for this one, too.
You're right, 2 for 2.
There you go. A very good cast works hard to make something tasty out of this Christmas. We're home for the holidays with the Whitfield family of Los Angeles, everyone converging for the first time in years. Madeira is played by Loretta Devine, and she's hosting Christmas with her beau, played by Delroy Lindo. In this kitchen scene, Madeira's offspring establish themselves in a few easy screenwriting strokes so we know who's who and who can cook and who can't.
Names. Some of us were busy going to college while others chose to stay home and learn how to cook.
And those of us who chose to stay home helped with the cleaners while the rest of us who shall remain nameless jetted off to college the first chance they got.
The two of you listening to yourself. If a stranger walked in here, they wouldn't even know you were sisters.
She started it.
Okay, backstory. Medear's wandering musician of a husband split years ago, and ever since then, Medear has turned her back on the stuff. It's trouble. That music is trouble. Nobody in the family realizes that young Michael, played by singing sensation Chris Brown, has pipes for days.
And as I look around, your eyes are shine the town they do. This Christmas, the fire...
That song is called This Christmas, which is treated to roughly 900 choruses. The movie comes from writer-director Preston A. Whitmore II, and I have to say, despite the corn, I enjoyed it. Sometimes the right spirit is enough, and thanks mostly to the actors, I'd say this movie has it. So.
I'm with you all the way on this, Mike. I enjoyed it thoroughly, and I would agree there are some moments where I thought, well, they could just tighten that a little bit or give us a little less madness going on. We don't need some of the histrionics that occur.
Right.
But the cast is uniformly excellent, attractive, funny. I think the writing is good.
Elevating the
Delroy
material every
Lindo
moment,
is really good, and there are some touching moments. And I have to say, it just... As I'm watching this movie, the first 15 minutes, I'm like, okay, we've seen this all before. And it just grew on me more and more, and I really started to enjoy it. And I thought, you know, I could actually see this becoming kind of a minor perennial during the holidays. I could see this as a repeat viewer. It's a lot of fun.
I think the emblem of the strengths and weaknesses is at the end, for the end credits, you get this very long dance sequence where all 12 of the major players get like a very long
I was like, wow, we're actually getting the DVD extra during the closing credits.
But I enjoyed it. And it took me way back to All of Me. Remember Steve Martin and Lily Tomlin and that dance that closed the credits there? It was like, came out of nowhere. But I really did like it.
But I like spending time with this family. I'd like to see him again next Christmas. Oh, there's the name of the sequel, Next Christmas.
There you go. Right. You're going to Hollywood, pal. Later in the show, Amy Adams' fairy tale princess comes to life in Enchanted. And next, Kerry Russell and Robin Williams star in August Rush.
Why is it so important that you want him now?
I've always wanted him.
So what's your story, Lila?
I don't know. I'm just me.
Kerry Russell is a very sad cellist. Jonathan Rhys-Meyers is a brooding ex-rocker. Freddie Highmore is the son they don't know exists. They're the key players in August Rush, an occasionally moving but overwhelmingly sappy modern-day fairy tale. Highmore, who's now a teenager but still playing the innocent lad as he did in Finding Neverland and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, is August Rush, an orphan who journeys to New York City to find his parents.
You never quit on your music. No matter what happens. Because anytime something bad happens to you, it's the one place you can escape to and just let it go.
That's Rhys-Meyers' Lewis, who doesn't know he's the boy's father. See, Lewis had a magical one-night stand with Russell's Lila a decade ago, but her evil father kept them apart and told her the baby died. What a guy. In a creepy subplot, Robin Williams channels Bono and chews up the screen as Wizard, a Dickensian street hustler who keeps a bunch of homeless kids in an abandoned building and controls their lives.
You can see it. Wizard Productions presents the #1 heat wave, August Rush!
August Rush is written and directed by Kirsten Sheridan, who wrote the screenplay for another New York fable, In America. I love that movie. I wanted to like this movie, and there were times when I was moved by the music and touched by the performances, especially from Kerry Russell. But the stuff with the wizard was off-putting and weird, and the whole fairy tale element about the evil father and the kid in the orphanage, it's just beyond credible. Even the final few moments, which really should have us choking up, seemed hurried and shot from the wrong angles. August Rush has its heart in a good place, but it strikes far too many false notes.
Yeah, August Sugar Rush is really more.
I mean, really.
Yeah, but and the ending is just if that doesn't work, the whole movie doesn't work. And you have this concert in Central Park, Freddie Highmore, conducting his own symphony. You have long separated lovers joining. There's so much harmonic convergence and sort of hooey about the music of the spheres. It's like the only thing that would save it for me, that climax would be the obelisk from 2001 to just wham all right into the park.
Wow, that's harsh.
No, this was tough going. And I do like Freddie Highmore. He's a very good young actor. Kerry Russell, terrific in Waitress. As I always say, don't blame the actor.
But I gotta tell you too, and I have loved some of Robin Williams' work over the years, but man, he can sink a movie. And when you got a Robin Williams hat sideburns combo platter going, you're in trouble there.
I'm not going to get on that one though. I will not blame Robin Williams for the failures of this film because it is all the material.
Contributed to the
all the material.
All right, fair enough. All right, coming up next, Cate Blanchett and Richard Gere are among those playing Bob Dylan in I'm Not There. But first, here's another review from the Balcony Archive where you can watch 20 years of movie reviews at themoviestv.com. It does make some statements about today's civilization, but then also you just get a lot of cool decapitations. So you got that going for you, too.
If you want to go people see them get their heads cut off, you're going to get your money's worth.
What do you know of me, demon?
Okay, looking at movies now in theaters, I like Beowulf. Michael didn't. Michael liked Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium. Me, not so much. But we both were indeed enchanted by Enchanted. It opens this week. Patrick Dempsey and James Marsden and Susan Sarandon, all excellent here. But I know, Michael, you agree with me. This is Amy Adams' movie, and she's just wonderful.
In fact, I don't even think the movie's particularly good without her, but she's so good, it makes it well worth seeing.
Absolutely.
Okay, from writer and director Todd Haynes comes the film I'm Not There, in which 6 different actors paint contrasting portraits of Bob Dylan. Now, none of the characters are actually called Bob Dylan, or Bobby Zimmerman for that matter. It's a head full, this film, but I liked it. The cast includes Christian Bale and Ben Whishaw as Dylan-esque types in the guises of folk singer turned preacher and rebel poet, respectively. But it's Cate Blanchett who's likely going to score a supporting actress Oscar nomination.
Well, who said I was sincere?
Are you saying you're not sincere?
No more sincere than you are. See, you just want me to say what you want me to say.
That's Blanchett sparring with the BBC broadcaster played by Bruce Greenwood. Outside Blanchett's scenes, the most compelling bits of I'm Not There belong to Heath Ledger and Charlotte Gainsbourg. He's a movie star who once played a Dylan-esque folky hero on screen. She's his wife, living with a man who's living on the outskirts of his own marriage.
So you're basically a chauvinist?
Why? Because I think guys and chicks are different? Come on, that's all I'm saying, and they are. You know, they each have access to different kinds of pain, which is pretty much why chicks can never be poets.
What? Robbie, please, you're not serious.
That's the most preposterous thing I've ever heard.
This is a visual whirlwind shot by a great cinematographer, Edward Lockman, and it's like 6 completely separate pictures mashed together. A lot of I'm Not There doesn't really work on its story terms, and I don't blame the actor, but the Richard Gere sequences particularly, he's playing Billy the Kid, intrude on the picture just as we're getting deeply into what Blanchett is up to. But if films are songs, this is one troubadour that travels its own stretch of Highway 61 its own way. So even though it's a little vexing, I went for it.
It is a little vexing, Michael, but, you know, oddly enough, I think people might be, oh my God, this sounds like, you know, one of those self-indulgent art films, and I don't want to try to keep up with this. And even if you don't know the music of Bob Dylan, if you just appreciate, as you said, the 6 short films that are sort of intertwined here,
right.
They all work for me, including I like the Richard Gere story. I agree. Maybe sometimes, you know, the placement I would quibble with, but you know, it's Todd Haynes' film, and he should obviously do what he wants with it. And I'm willing to go along for the ride. Cate Blanchett, I agree, should get a Best Supporting Actress or Actor nomination. I'm not sure which one.
Tough call there. I think the real star is Haynes because he's an interesting director. Far From Heaven, the film he made before this, is all about taking kind of a Douglas Sirk 50s melodrama and twisting it in a new story direction, but keeping this really kind of fiercely stylized 50s look intact. And here he's trying that in 6 different directions, because one film is shot like Don't Look Back, the Pennebaker documentary. Another one is shot like Fellini's 8½, you know, and it's all very...
But it's not just, oh, I can do impersonations. It's not just, oh, I'm a cover director, you know, covering great directors. It's a very talented artist.
And it's not just impersonations, too.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I think it's really interesting stuff, and I enjoyed every aspect of it.
I like the Ledger Gainsborough stuff, too, especially because that's stuff that is not impersonating Dylan or aping anything in his life directly.
No, you know what?
It's just the spirit.
It's actually just a real heartbreaking story of a marriage falling apart.
That's very good stuff.
All right, our next movie is playing right now at an iTunes store near you. 12 years after Edward Burns made an indie splash with the brothers McMullen, he's released Purple Violets straight to Apple's iTunes, where you can download it for $14.99. After a month, it'll be available on DVD. Regardless of the delivery system, I really enjoyed this relationship movie with Patrick Wilson as a Grisham-like novelist in his mid-30s who has a chance reunion with his college sweetheart, played by Selma Blair.
I got engaged. I called you, but your girlfriend or ex-girlfriend or some chick picked up, so I hung up.
For years, every time that I traveled, I'd write you a postcard, but I could never get the guts to send one.
Burns plays the Murph, a successful lawyer who's still trying to apologize to Deborah Messing for kind of cheating on her when they were in college.
Well, look, last night I went through some boxes, and I dug out this poem that you wrote. And I just thought maybe you'd want to read it and remind you, you know, how you felt about us, how you felt about me.
I don't need reminding. Leave me alone. Thank you.
You don't want to read it?
Burn it.
There's also some funny stuff involving Wilson and his fans who really don't want him to branch out from his crime novels. Like Sidewalks of New York, Purple Violets has a bit of a Woody Allen light feel to it. I don't think that's a bad thing. Burns loves the city, he respects his characters, and we're rooting for good things to happen to them. This is a sweet and funny romance, whether you're watching it on your computer or in a month on your DVD player.
Oh, $3 bill. I don't buy one word of this thing. Edward Burns is a very good actor, and I think his talent as a writer and a director is a certain size, and he is not working it to any good advantage, you know. I think this is a relationship movie for people who have never been in one.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
I don't believe that for 1 second.
The women, the women are all either shrews or doormats. I mean, it's like,
that's not
except
true.
for Selma Blair, everybody else.
Messing, maybe a little bit of
all
a
right,
shrew,
shrew and then
not a
doormat. She's a shrew and then a
Selma
doormat.
Blair's character fits into neither of those categories. She's, I think, a fully realized character. I agree that in the past, Burns has been much stronger at writing for men than for women. I think he's getting better writing for women, and definitely he's very good about dynamics of relationships and how they fall apart and how people get back together. I thought all of that worked well.
No, I'd rather see August Rush followed by
You got
Chuck.
Yeah,
I got to say, I just think
it's
he's a very good actor, and I hope he really has a great acting career. So that's that.
All right, coming up next, a Hitchcock classic gets a digital upgrade, and Carrie Russell in a role that just might make you forget August Rush and might get her a nomination. But first, here's a look at what's coming up on next week's show.
I thought you were the kind of girl who knew when to say when.
I don't really know what kind of girl I am.
I got us an interview. It's called Green Hill Manor.
Sounds like an insane asylum.
You're an idiot.
Can we just play the game?
Hi, I'm Richard Roeper. Join me Thursday, December 6th for a live online chat about the holiday season's best and worst at the movies. Just go to atthemoviestv.com. We're going to talk about everything cinema this holiday season. We'll review what's coming to theaters. We'll talk about some of the classics. And we'll also discuss those new DVD releases you want under the tree. Just go to atthemoviestv.com Thursday, December 6th. I'll see you there.
This week's video segment is brought to you by Raisinets. Make a deliciously smart choice with Raisinets.
Did we reinforce the takeoff ramp? No, we didn't have time.
Cool. Okay, looking at movies new on DVD. I didn't mind Hot Rod, not quite enough to recommend it. I really hated Bratz and Mr. Bean's Holiday. Oh, those two movies. Two of the worst movies of the year.
I can't rationally defend Hot Rod, but there's one scene that is so damn funny, and the fall down the mountain. I went for 3 stars based on the fall.
See, I actually like the Dancing Anger Footloose ripoff.
Good scene.
Homage, if you will. So some moments in there,
there's
but not
6
quite
minutes
enough
of good film.
Yeah, 6 minutes in Hot Rod.
I did laugh hard.
Here's a movie that I thought was good from start to finish, Michael. Waitress, Carrie Russell, Adrienne Shelley. Of course, this is her last film, and Carrie Russell is just wonderful in this film.
Did you make that marshmallow pie that you brought me?
Yes, I did. Marshmallow mermaid pie. I invented it when I was 9 years old, in my mermaid phase.
Also, some terrific supporting work from Cheryl Hines and Andy Griffith, among others, in this film. Really liked Waitress.
The Adrienne Shelley thing is such a tragic loss. But yeah, it's a good film.
Good film.
The most delightful Hitchcock film from his British sound period, The Lady Vanishes, is being reissued on Criterion in a digital transfer with some fine extras. This may be the funniest film Hitchcock ever made, full of sly allusions to England's isolationist stance between the wars, but mainly it's a triumph of casting, starting with Dame May Whitty. You also get 2 of the screen's most sterling upper-class twits, played by Basil Radford and Naunton Wayne. Very funny. If you haven't seen The Lady Vanishes, see it. And if you love it and don't own it, this is definitely the edition to get.
So The Lady Vanishes and Waitress will be in stores on Tuesday. We'll be back to recap this week's show right after this.
Closed captioning for Ebert and Roeper is sponsored by...
Man has evolved to the point where he no longer needs to stand in line for tickets. The MovieTickets.card, available only at MovieTickets.com.
Guests of Ebert and Roeper stay at the Peninsula Chicago, the city's most exciting luxury hotel, located in the heart of Chicago's Magnificent Mile.
Okay, recapping the movies on this week's show. We both liked The Mist this Christmas, and I'm not there. I liked Purple Violence. Michael didn't. Neither of us liked August Rush.
There it is. The Mist, I think, yeah, very good surprise, I thought, The Mist.
And, of course, Enchanted opening this weekend. People got to check it out.
Very good.
All right, that's it for this week. Until next week, the balcony is closed.
My Bliss? Blistex Silk and Shine. Real silk extracts with a touch of shine. Discover Bliss. Discover Blistex.
It's the ultimate Thanksgiving sale at Lane Bryant. All sweaters, all velour separates, select shirts, career pants, and more. All buy one, get one free. Saturday and Sunday only at Lane Bryant.
If you have high blood pressure like me, you need powerful cold medicine with a heart. Coricetin HBP. It won't raise your blood pressure. Coricetin HBP.